Hi everyone, my name is Pavitra V, Department of Chemistry. Today we are going to discuss a topic called surface coating. Coating is nothing but it is a covering that is applied to the surface of an object, usually referred to as substrate. The purpose of applying the coating is of decorative purpose or functional or both. Functional is nothing but for protective purpose. The coating itself may be an all-over coating completely covering the substrate, or it may be only cover parts of the substrate based on the usage. An example of all of these types of coating is a product label on many drinks bottles. One side has an all-over functional coating, that is adhesive binding. Adhesive is nothing but binding, and the other side has one or more decorative coatings in an appropriate pattern or the printing of some of the words and images. It is based on the requirement. And what are the functions of coating means? It forms an adhesive, that is binding. Here we have some of the examples. Adhesive tape, it is nothing but a binding tape used to bind the substrate. And then pressure sensitive labels that are used on some of the bottles as a sticker containing names and some other details. And iron on fabrics, it is nothing but iron plate having a design which is pressed on the cloth or a fabric to get a design copied on the cloth. Next, changing adhesion properties. Non-stick PTFE coated cooking pans. PTFE is nothing but polytetrafluoroethylene, which is more durable, having low coefficient of friction, good abrasion resistance, and chemical resistance also, which is used as a coating on cooking non-stick pans. Next one is release coatings. For example, silicone coated release, linear for many self-adhesive products, that is having a sticker on it or a gum-like structure in a material, that is self-adhesive products. Next one is primers, encourage subsequent coatings to adhere well. That is, we will use the primers in the paint section, so also sometimes have anti-corrosive properties. It acts as opposition for the corrosion. Corrosion is nothing but it is a process of destruction and deterioration of metals due to atmosphere to which it is exposed. This is nothing but corrosion. So sometimes primers act as an anti-corrosive materials. We will discuss the protectiveness of paints. Most paints are some extent protecting the substrate. Hard anti-scratching coating on plastics and other materials, for example titanium nitrate, to reduce the scratching or to improve wear resistance, and anti-corrosion underbody sealant of some cars for the decorative purpose. Many plating products, waterproof fabric and waterproof paper, antimicrobial surface, this we will use to pack the food. Magnetic properties such as for magnetic media like cassette tapes, floppy disk, and some mass transit tickets. In all these we will use a coating material. And for the coating purpose we have following types: conversion coatings like oxidation and anodizing, thermal coating, that is carburizing, flame spraying, metal coatings, electrochemical or electroless, in the presence of electricity or in the absence of electricity. Deposition, we have two types: physical vapor deposition and chemical vapor deposition. Here the vapors are deposited on the substrate in order to protect the substrate. Next one is organic coatings. Sometimes in the older times we will use a cow dung surface coating on the floors to avoid the bacterial invade to the house. Okay. Next one is protective coatings. Before that we have to prepare a surface for coating. In that first step, cleaning, to prepare for a suitable condition removing contaminants to prevent detrimental reaction products. Detrimental is nothing but harmful reactions. Okay. For example, degreasing, sandblasting. Sandblasting is nothing but which can convert the surface, harder surface into smooth, or smooth surface into harder. Next, vapor degreasing, pickling, and alkaline cleaning. So in the second point we have solvent cleaning. We will use some of the solvents to clean the surface. Must be non-inflammable and non-toxic in nature. Should not catch fire. So it is non-inflammable. Next one is trichloro-trifluoroethane, which has low toxicity, but it is little bit costlier when compared to other solvents. The next point, vapor degreasing is economical and advantageous because of continuous cleaning with small quantities of the solvents. Next, third point is electrolyte pickling. Here it provides better and rapid cleaning by increasing hydrogen evolution, resulting in agitation and blasting action. Agitation is nothing but to and fro motion, and some blasting actions will take place in order to clean up the surface. So blasting is nothing but sand blasting is a mechanical cleaning. In that fourth point, alkaline cleaning, we are using some of the base solvents or the basic solutions in order to clean the surface. It is cheaper and less hazardous, used in conjugation with surface active, that is wetting agent. Ability depends on pH, rapidly decreases below 8.5, pH value 8.5. Other abilities are rinsability, detergent properties. See, for the preparation of soap and detergent, we will use a basic medium, for example NaOH. So it also gives a detergent properties when we use a basic solution, and subsequently wetting, etc. Next, it is come to the last point, that is acid cleaning. Here we are using some of the acid solutions to clean the surface. For example, HCl, H2SO4, H3PO4 example. Okay. In that, 5 to 10% of sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid used to remove inorganic contaminants. Pickling are performed at high temperature, about 60 degrees Celsius. It is effective for removal of grease, oil, dirt, and rust. Acid cleans the rust also. Okay, next we will move to a surface coating main component, paints. Paint is nothing but it is any liquid or liquefiable or mastic composition containing some of the compositions that after application to the substrate in a thin layer converts to a solid film. After application of a paint to the substrate, it becomes solid film after some times. It is most commonly used to protect, color, or provide texture to the object or the attractiveness to the object. In the paint, we have some of the surface properties. For example, it resists for the scratching, acts as anti-resistant for the scratching, and then matting, it gives some matte finishing by binding to the substrate. Abrasion resistance, abrasion is nothing but rubbing some materials on the paint, it resists that. And block resistance, gloss, that is shiny surface, and it gives a soft feel to touch. Water repellent. Adhesion is nothing but binding to the substrate. Slip control, when it slide over the other, it controls the slipping of the substrate. Then wetting, avoids wetting to the maximum extent, and then it gives a level or a uniform surface area for the substrate. These are some of the surface properties of paints. Next, we will move to the classification of paints. In that, we have two classification: water-based paints and oil-based paints. In that, we will see the classification water-based paints. Here, the mixture of pigments, binders, dryer, and mainly water. It is mixed with the water. The majority of wall paint sold today is water-based. water-based paints comes in the range of cheap to highly expensive luxury qualities based on the requirement by the customers. It is available. Many categories of water-based paints are easily washable when set and dried. They can be washed with water. It is suitable for interior as well as exterior walls. Only water is added before the application of process. Okay, requires lesser time than oil paints to dry. In the case of oil paints, we use linseed oil instead of water. Instead of water, we will use oils. Hence, we are calling it as oil paints, and it takes much time than compared to water paints to dry, and maintains its original color for longer period of time. Durability is more for water-based paints, but for oil-based paints, it is more durable than compared to water-based paints. Then we will move to oil-based paints. Here, it is more durable, but it takes longer time to dry, and cleanup requires turpentine oil or paint thinner for its application. In order to remove oil-based paints after the application, it is very difficult. You need thinner to wash it. Whereas water-based paints, it can be washed with water. Oil-based paints are made with either alkyd, that is synthetic, or linseed, that is natural oil, linseed oil. Generally termed as enamel paints, which comes under different various colors. Okay, oil-based paints are durable, but it changes its original color after the year passes. Oil-based paints comes in 3 finishes: high gloss, satin, and matte finishing. We will discuss this finishing in the next further slides. It can be used on walls, ceiling, doors, windows, mosquito mesh, iron frames, furnitures, wooden frames, furnitures, art, crafts items, etc. Usually when paint on iron, a red oxide coat is applied first to protect iron from getting rotten. Okay, we will use a red oxide coat before painting, oil painting on a iron, which acts as a protective film. See, these are some of the uses of oil-based paints we have used in some of the furnitures. See, these are the variable oil paints found in market of India. See, these are the 4 components of paints. In that, binders, diluent, pigments, and additives. Binders binds the paint onto the substrate. Diluent, which alters the viscosity of the paint, and pigments give the color to the paint, and additives give the extra qualities for the paint. We will discuss